Oppression is the cruel or unfair treatment of a group of people. Dear President Biden, I would like to bring to your attention the issue of oppression in our society. During the 1950s, black people were not allowed to eat at the restaurant sit-ins. This was before the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I would like to remind you, recently, a police officer killed an African American who was innocent, named George Floyd, only because of his skin color was black. Lots of angry black citizens demanded for the police officers to stop the war on black people due to history. Rutha Mae Harris was among them as she remembered with tears on her face about the time she was arrested for marching with the others, even when it was a non-violent protest. Some character examples from the Hunger Games are when Katniss understands that the government in the capital of Panem is oppressive. The country of Panem is split into 12 districts, which are separated from each other. Each district is enclosed by a fence that no one is allowed over. In the Hunger Games, the government punishes the people by reminding them every year that rebellion against the government is wrong, by holding the games where children from many districts fight each other to the death. Also, another example is the women in William Shakespeare's play, A Midsummer Night's Dream, are traditional women in society that act in rebellious ways. Hermia and Helena are disobedient and rebellious women in the play. At the time, women were treated as though they were property. There are many ways to respond to oppression. The best way to respond to oppression is peaceful protest. Since it is not harmful nor violent, there is a much lower risk factor that you will get hurt if you choose to help protest with peaceful protests. Peaceful protests are often more organized because the people participating have a calmer approach to change than their violent counterparts. Some historical factors are when, during the march, the black people would sometimes sing. They protested through their singing, hoping that their voices could be heard. It was considered a non-violent protest. Sometimes it worked, but other times it didn't. When their singing did work, the police officers would drop their billy clubs so that the black people would know that they were no longer planning to hit them. During the mid-1960s, the sit-in restaurants were the cause of the sit-in movement or the student movement, which produced a new sense of pride and power for African Americans by rising up on their own and achieving substantial success, protesting against segregation in the society in which they lived. Black people realized that they could change their communities with local coordination action. Martin Luther King Jr. stated that the oppressed people must organize themselves into a militant and nonviolent mass movement in order to achieve the goal of integration. The oppressed must convince the oppressors that all he seeks is justice for both himself and the oppressors. In the early 1960s, Rutha Mae Harris faced armed police as she sang at demonstrations across the whole United States. The voice of the civil rights movement reflects on Martin Luther King, racism, and resilience. I hope you bring your attention to this issue of oppression in our society as it is still going on today. Sincerely, Almira Sheikh.